Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It's Wednesday, May 27th. So it's not going to be a long video today. I overslept, but I didn't really. It's a little after 5. But I thought today we talk about how important every step in the process is and why it's important. So stay tuned. Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric. And yes, this is the weekday, Monday through Friday. Today is Wednesday, the 27th of May of 2026. So why are we talking process? What am I talking about when I say process? Everything in life is process. Whether it's, you know, trying to figure out your finances or whether it's trying to figure out your vacation, if it's trying to figure out, whether you're going left or right, there's a process. And the quicker you start looking at it that way, the quicker it's going to be a lot better for you. And what am I talking about? If you watch the video very much, the videos, a lot of shorts, I focus on, diagnosing before fixing. And most of you guys know all this, but it's the process that's important because if we just start fixing, we're shooting in the air. We don't know if we're going to hit anything or whether it's going to make any difference. But that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about a process. It's doing the diagnostic first and finding out where the problem is and kind of, it's kind of like when you go to your regular doctor, and they can do the regular checkup for you. But if you need anything further, they farm you out to a specialist. And that specialist is doing the diagnostic. Your regular doctor can do the most common stuff, right? But when you start getting into heart issues, cardiac, cancer, lymphoma, anything else that might come across your regular doctor's plate, the first thing they are going to do is find a specialist. And then they're going to get you seen by them. And what are they going to start doing? They're not going to just say, okay, you have cardiac, let's do open heart surgery. No, they're going to do a diagnostic. They're going to find out whether surgery is even needed or whether medications like blood thinners or what have you is a better, plan. That's diagnostic. And that's how we approach everything when it comes to small engine repair is we become the specialists when somebody brings their small engine to us. We're the ones that are doing the diagnostic. If we just jump in and start, cutting and tearing and everything else, we haven't taken the time to really look to see, okay, is this really needed? And what I find a lot of times when I'm doing the diagnostic, it's something minor. And have I had it where it came out the issue during the diagnostic came out that it was something totally different than I thought when I first started? Absolutely, many times. And we're a creature of habit, okay? And I'm no different. If I see 10 lawnmowers come in with the same problem, a fuel solenoid on the bottom of the carburetor is gummed up, all right? And the 11th one comes in and it's a no start. They can't get it to start only on a little bit of carb cleaner. If I jump and I start doing that, instead of cleaning it, just replacing it, and that doesn't solve my problem. Because if I had done the diagnostic, that 11th machine would have told me your compression is way down and it hasn't got enough compression to run that engine. So the valves were out of whack. So that's going to give me, see how it is? It's a process. The quicker you can get that down to a science of seeing everything that comes in and doing that process. Okay, I got to do a diagnostic on it. I want to see what the compression is. I want to see if it's got fire. I want to see if the fuel's any good. And of course, the air cleaner, is it soaking wet? Is it crap? What have you. If if you do those four things, you're eliminating the bigger complaints, okay? Those are the ones that usually say yay or nay when it comes to fixing an engine, right? But if you don't have fire, what do you do then? Well, what I do is I take the cover off, I unplug the ground wire off from the coil and try it. If it starts, then I know I've got a safety switch. Something in the system is telling that engine to stay grounded so that it will not start, okay? But I learned that in my diagnostic because I put the spark tester on it and cranked it over, and there was no fire coming across from the coil. If by unplugging the ground wire, I'm getting fire on the coil, then I'll plug that wire back in and I'll start henpecking my way back through the system. Will it take a while? Most times not. If you go directly to a lot of times, if you got a manual PTO, shake that a couple times. If the seat switch is malfunctioned, if the PTO switch was left on, if you got electric PTO, all of this is going to be found in the diagnostic, which is step 2. Do I have fire? Fuel is a hard one. That's why here at the shop we've decided to dump instead of hoping for the best. Because I don't know how many times we had 2 machines come in yesterday, and you could hear them popping on water. They get some gas and then they hit some water and they start backfiring and popping and everything else. And 12 o'clock I said drain it. The one was a gator and it was right full of gas, and it took almost 8 gallons to get out of that tank. And we bought fresh. Voila. Once I put some fresh in with PRI-G, we let it idle to get through until the fresh gas got in. Totally different machine. And the guy told us he just put that gas in there. The problem is, even if you go to the gas station today, you can get a bad batch of gas. Water is our biggest culprit when it comes to fuel. Shelf life is very minimal. I had a fella ask me yesterday, is it better to buy the canned fuel or to mix up yourself? I don't have enough experience with canned fuel. I've never used it, and most of my customers don't use it. So I don't have enough information to say yay or nay on whether it's good or not. Does it have a shelf life? I don't know. Are they in sealed cans and they can't get air to them, so that they're probably better than, mixing? But as I explained to him, when I'm mixing up even 2-stroke, I'm looking at using it within the next couple of months, not years. We used to be able to keep it for years. No more. It won't do it. So mix up enough to what you need and then put the rest of the straight gas into your lawnmower and push more, so that your chainsaw, because he had some work he wanted to get done with his chainsaw, and when he dropped off the saw, it just, once I swapped the gas out into my gas, my own mix, it ran. So I don't know. If you can come at everything in life that you want as a process, there's steps that you have to accomplish to get there. You're going to be ahead of half of the population. I'm serious. Half of the population just hopes for the best and just goes. They have no clue of how to get there and how it's going to turn out. They're just hoping for the best, going by the seat of their pants. You've got a tenth of the population that are very focused and do know what they want out of life. And money is not everything in life. For a lot of people, being successful at being an artist or being successful at being a songwriter or uh, somebody that paints, to each their own. Me, I feel you're successful if you're accomplishing things that you want out of life. If you're not accomplishing things, then you're probably going about it the wrong way, or you don't have a process in place to get from step A, B, C, D, and E. Okay? The quicker you figure that out, the more you're going to get out of life. There's a process in trying to figure out how to tell the kids clean their rooms. Some allowance will work. Others, it's we can go do this, this, and this, but that's got to be done first. If you get your room clean, then we'll have time to go do that at the park or go to a movie or what have you. So it's still a process. You're swapping one for the other to get the end meat of having the rooms cleaned. And check under the bed, because when I was a kid, we used to just shove it underneath the bed, and my kids did the same damn thing. So I'm going to start wrapping this up. Whether it's working on small engine or auto mechanic, anything in life, there's a process. And the quicker you figure that out, the better your life is going to be. Look at it like we do when we're doing repairs, doing your diagnostic first and then fixing second. If you plan first and figure out what's the best route, that's how you're going to get to where you want. If your family doctor thinks that you need to be seen by a cardiologist, a specialist that sees it every day, go with it. Because that doctor, that cardiologist, sees hundreds of patients a week having heart issues and is the best one to talk to. On that note, you guys have a great Wednesday, and we'll be back here hopefully tomorrow morning for another episode of the weekday. Enjoy your Wednesday.